Bangkok, a symphony of chaos. The city never sleeps, its streets alive with the constant hum of life. Motorbikes weave through traffic, street vendors call out to passers-by, and the air is filled with the sounds of a city that is always on the move. The air hung thick, a humid fist squeezing the breath from my lungs. It was as if the city itself was trying to embrace me, pulling me into its warm, sticky grasp. Every breath was a struggle, every step a challenge in the oppressive heat. I was adrift, another face in the throng of Khao San Road. The street was a river of humanity, each person with their own story, their own destination. I felt both lost and found in the crowd, a part of something larger than myself. Backpack slung low, I navigated the labyrinthine alleys, a sea of vendors hawking their wares. The market was a maze of colors and sounds, each stall offering a new temptation. I moved through it all, a wanderer in search of something I couldn't quite name. The scent of frying noodles mingled with the sweet aroma of mango sticky rice, an assault on the senses that was pure Bangkok. The food was a feast for the senses, each bite a new adventure. It was a taste of the city itself, vibrant and full of life.
I found a haven in a dimly lit bar, its walls plastered with faded travel posters. The bar was a refuge from the chaos outside, a place where time seemed to stand still. The posters told stories of far-off places, each one a promise of adventure. The air, thick with cigarette smoke and the murmur of drunken conversations, offered a strange comfort. It was a place where strangers became friends, where stories were shared and dreams were born. The smoke curled around us, a ghostly reminder of the lives we had left behind. I was nursing a lukewarm Chang beer when I heard it, a melodic French accent cutting through the din. It was a voice that spoke of distant lands and romantic adventures, a sound that drew me in like a siren's call.
Two pairs of eyes bright with curiosity met mine. They were eyes that spoke of a shared longing, a desire to see and experience the world. In that moment, we were no longer strangers, but fellow travelers on a shared journey. They were young Etienne and Françoise, their faces flushed with the thrill of travel. They carried with them the excitement of new discoveries, the joy of seeing the world through fresh eyes. Their laughter was infectious, a reminder of the simple pleasures of the road. We were kindred spirits, drawn together by a shared thirst for adventure. We spoke of the places we had been, the people we had met, and the dreams that drove us forward. In that bar, we found a connection that transcended language and culture.
We talked late into the night, swapping stories of past journeys and future dreams. Each tale was a thread in the tapestry of our shared experience, a piece of the puzzle that was our lives. We laughed, we cried, and we dreamed together, bound by the magic of the moment.
As the night wore on, a figure emerged from the shadows. He was a mystery, a ghost from another time, and his presence filled the room with a sense of anticipation. Daffy, a gaunt man with eyes that held the wisdom of 1,000 journeys. His face was a map of the world, each line a story, each wrinkle a memory. He spoke with a quiet authority, his words carrying the weight of experience. He spoke of a place untouched by time, a secret island hidden in the azure waters of the Andaman Sea, a paradise. It was a place that seemed to exist only in dreams, a world away from the chaos of Bangkok. His words painted a picture of a hidden Eden, a sanctuary for those who dared to seek it. Daffy's voice, a low rasp, painted vivid pictures of the island, lush jungles teeming with life, pristine beaches kissed by crystal-clear waters, a community living in harmony with nature, far from the grasp of civilization. It sounded too good to be true.
He spoke of the island's guardians, farmers who cultivated a rare strain of marijuana. They welcomed travelers, offering sanctuary in exchange for discretion. Daffy's words were laced with a warning. Paradise once found is easily lost.
Days later, tragedy struck. Daffy was gone. A hit and run, they said. A drunk driver, a crowded street, a life extinguished in a heartbeat. I found myself standing before his meager possessions, a crumpled map tucked amongst them. The map to the island, the seed of adventure sown by Daffy's tales had taken root.
I showed the map to Etienne and Françoise, the promise of paradise burning bright in their eyes.
They were hesitant, their apprehension palpable, but the allure of the unknown, the chance to escape the ordinary, proved too strong to resist.
Our journey began in the bustling port of Phuket, a place teeming with life and energy. The harbor was a symphony of sounds, from the calls of vendors to the hum of engines, all blending into a vibrant cacophony. We boarded a rickety fishing boat, its weathered hull creaking under the weight of our anticipation. The boat, though old and worn, held a certain charm, a promise of adventure etched into its every plank. The air was thick with the smell of salt and diesel, the sun beating down on our backs. Days blurred into nights as we sailed onward, the horizon our only guide. The sea stretched endlessly before us, a vast, uncharted expanse. The endless expanse of the sea became our world, the rhythmic sway of the boat our lullaby. Each wave that rocked the boat seemed to whisper secrets of the deep, tales of ancient mariners and lost treasures.
We talked, we laughed, we shared stories and dreams, our voices mingling with the sound of the sea. The camaraderie we built was as strong as the tides, each story a thread weaving us closer together. Our bond deepening with each passing hour, we became more than just travelers. We became a family, united by our shared quest and the promise of discovery. The island, once a distant whisper, began to feel real. It was no longer just a point on a map, but a tangible destination, a beacon of hope and adventure.
Then, on the horizon, a smudge of green emerged from the azure. It was like a mirage, slowly solidifying into reality, a promise of land after days at sea. As we drew closer, the island revealed itself in all its glory. The details became clearer: the lush greenery, the rugged cliffs, the inviting beaches. Towering limestone cliffs draped in emerald green, fringed by white sand beaches and kissed by turquoise waters. It was a sight that took our breath away, a vision of paradise. It was breathtaking, a vision of Eden untouched by the modern world. The island seemed to whisper promises of adventure and discovery, a place where dreams could come true.
Following Daffy's instructions, we navigated a hidden channel, a secret passage known only to a few. The excitement was palpable as we ventured into the unknown. Our boat gliding through a narrow passage carved into the cliffs, the walls towering above us, covered in dense vegetation. It felt like entering a different world, a hidden sanctuary. The air grew cooler, filled with the sounds of the jungle, the screech of exotic birds, the rustle of unseen creatures. It was a symphony of nature, a welcome contrast to the endless sea.
We had found it, paradise. A place where the worries of the world seemed to melt away, leaving only the beauty of nature and the promise of new beginnings. Section 4, Eden found life in the commune.
We were greeted by curious stares and hesitant smiles.
The community, a motley crew of souls seeking refuge from the world, welcomed us with cautious acceptance. They were a mix of nationalities and backgrounds, united by their shared desire for a simpler life.
Days turned into weeks as we settled into the rhythm of island life.
We helped with the daily chores, tending to the crops, fishing in the crystal clear waters, and sharing meals under the starlit sky.
The pace of life was slow, dictated by the rhythms of nature. The air was clean, the food fresh, the worries of the world a distant memory. For a while, it felt like paradise.
The weight of the world lifted from my shoulders, replaced by a sense of belonging I had never known. I found myself drawn to the simplicity of their existence, the raw beauty of their world.
But paradise, as Daffy had warned, is a fragile thing. Section 5, Francoise, the Heart's Treachery.
Francoise. Her laughter was like the chime of wind chimes, her eyes reflecting the azure depths of the ocean. We grew closer, drawn together by shared laughter and whispered secrets under the starlit sky.
Etienne, oblivious to our growing intimacy, reveled in the carefree spirit of the island.
Our love affair was a stolen glance, a brush of hands, a shared joke whispered under the cover of night. Guilt gnawed at me, a bitter aftertaste to our stolen moments. Yet, I was drawn deeper into the intoxicating whirlpool of our forbidden love.
The tension between Etienne, Francoise, and Richard crackled in the air, a silent storm brewing on the horizon. The idyllic facade of paradise began to crumble, revealing the complexities of human emotions that even this remote haven could not escape.
The island, once a sanctuary, became a stage for our tangled emotions.
Section 6, Sal's Supply Run, Seeds of Betrayal. This chapter delves into the intricate web of trust and deception that can unravel even the most steadfast of relationships.
Sal, a man whose presence on the island was as constant as the tides, yet whose past was shrouded in mystery. The island's connection to the outside world, a lifeline that Sal maintained with unwavering dedication. Every few months, he would venture out on his boat, returning with supplies and news from the mainland. These trips were crucial, not just for the goods he brought back, but for the information that kept the islanders connected to the world beyond their shores.
He was a man of few words, his eyes hardened by a life lived on the edge. His silence spoke volumes, a testament to the countless storms he had weathered, both literal and metaphorical.
One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Sal approached me. His demeanor was unusually tense, his eyes betraying a hint of desperation. He needed help with the next supply run, a risky venture requiring an extra pair of hands. The urgency in his voice was unmistakable, and I felt a mix of apprehension and excitement. It was a chance to escape the suffocating tension on the island, to feel the familiar thrum of adventure. I agreed, eager to break free from the monotony and embrace the unknown.
The journey was fraught with danger. The sea, a vast and unpredictable entity, tested our resolve at every turn. They encountered rough seas, their small boat tossed about like a toy. The waves crashed against the hull with relentless force, each surge a reminder of nature's unforgiving power. The fear was palpable, a constant companion. Every creak of the boat, every gust of wind, heightened our anxiety. Yet, there was an undeniable thrill in the danger, a sense of being truly alive. The adrenaline coursed through our veins, a stark contrast to the stagnant life we had left behind.
As we neared the mainland, Sal revealed his true intentions. His voice, steady yet grave, cut through the roar of the ocean. He wasn't just there for supplies. His mission was far more sinister. He was smuggling heroin, using the island as a cover. The realization hit me like a tidal wave, the weight of his secret threatening to drown me. I was trapped, complicit in his dangerous game. The trust I had placed in him shattered, replaced by a gnawing sense of betrayal. The island, once a sanctuary, now felt like a prison.